Okay, so the mini lessons are this is where he actually needs to be navigating through the site. So where you guys actually made the modifications was on lesson 9, part 2. And he can actually move this up and down. It looks like he's got this way up to the top. He needs to move this down just a little bit so that he can see the instructions at the top. And the instructions for 9.2 were to use the inspector tool to see the code that creates the hyperlinks on the top of index.html. Discuss with your partner, which obviously we can't do, and then click on recipe.html in the files list on the left-hand side and add a hyperlink. So all he needed to do for lesson 9.2 was to click on the inspector tool and turn it on and roll over each one of these to see where the code is for it. And then he was supposed to click on recipe.html and create a hyperlink. So ahref equals and you can just click on one, candy, or let's make it index. If you backspace and you put the equal sign in, it pops up, and then put index, close the bracket, home page, and then close it. And then when he's finished with it, he just clicks refresh and save, and then click finish, and it'll take him to the next part. And then like on 9.3, and clearly he doesn't have to do 9.2 because he already did that. But and probably most of 9 he's already done. So 9.3 says to add on your home page. See, this actually pulls up your page, 9.3 does. So you can add the hyperlinks at the top, which I think you've already done, so you just need to copy them over. And then test the links by clicking on the preview area. So if I click on home page or football or cats or, oops, my cats link isn't working, and NFL, it should take me to my pages. Okay, so then after he's finished what it tells him to do up here in this area, then he'll click finish and move to the next part. So this is a little mini tutorial that explains what a hyperlink is. Riley, get down, please. Sorry, my dog just jumped up here. He thinks he's a cat. And then once he's looked over this, click continue. There's more information about what your website should have. Click continue. Part 6 here is where it told him to, Riley, personal space, dude. Sorry, he's knocking the computer out of my hand. So on this one, it says to create the new page. So this is where all the instructions were. And that's why he was struggling with it, is he wasn't reading the instructions. So once he's created a third page, which I think you guys have already done that, then he'll click finish. And then this is where he adds more images and adds content to the third page, which you guys have already done. So like I said, lesson 9, I think you've already pretty much done. And then click finish and go to the next page. So this is just adding more content and beefing up the page a little bit. Click finish. That's what the rest of lesson 9 is just finishing up their pages. So this one, make sure we have a navigation bar. So you copy and paste that navigation menu that you created onto all of the pages, which I think you guys have already done. So then we click finish. And this is just checking in with your partner and to look over for problems. Then there's a little short tutorial here again. This is about publishing a website, which we're not doing right now. So he can click continue. And then this is finishing up 9 and sharing. And then I believe there is a survey after this. And so I'm going to click continue or submit. Now, when he gets to lesson 10, this is where it explains the style. I think you guys have done most of lesson 10 on his page, but he hasn't done what it says to do on these pages. So on this one, it's just explaining what a style sheet is and how a style sheet makes changes to the website. And so really all this is looking at it. But then when you go to the next part, you click finish to go to part 3. And this is a little video that explains style. Click continue. Now, these are the little mini lessons that he probably has not done. So on this one, I'm going to hit version history and I'm going to start over so I can show you what it should look like when you get there. So when you get to lesson 10 part 4, it says here's the do this. This is what they're supposed to do up here at the top. Find the code in the style sheet and click on style sheet that is making the heading, the H1 heading red. Change the color code for the H1 heading from red to a different color. So if we click on the style sheet, we can see that it says color equals red, or color is red. So we're going to backspace to the colon, put the colon back in there, and now I'm going to change it to aqua. I'm going to add my semicolon, and then now all of my H1s are aqua. And that's all that he needed to do for that part. And then you move to the next part. And this one is find the rule set in the style sheet that determines the style for the H1 tag. Use the same pattern and write a new CSS rule set for an H3 tag. So then we go here and I'll do H3, open a bracket. I'm going to make this one blue-violet. And then close that bracket out. And now all of my H3s have become blue-violet. I hope that helps because the ones that are purple at the top, those are the ones that also get checked. So each one of these little circles is an actual thing that he has to do. The diamonds are videos and lessons. And then the very end where it says styling your website is where he adds to his website. So I think he's done up through lesson 10, but then he would go to, when you get to lesson 11, lesson part of it, so you can go back and look at that. But it has content at the top, and it explains how to do, like they're doing background colors and they're making all kinds of other changes. So this explains other tags, new tags, and he may want to add some other style to his website, but he definitely needs to do the mini lessons. So in this one, it's just telling you that it's telling you to try to figure out what makes the entire page blue. So when you go to style, you can see that the background color is light blue. And that's all it's asking him to do on this one. I hope that makes sense. Please let me know if you need any help. The whole thing, the little mini lessons, probably take a minute to 3 minutes each at the most. And if they do that, it pretty much helps them to put their website together. Thanks so much. Please let me know if I can help you in any other way.